let's move on quickly to the Debussy. I asked you for Debussy specifically because so far in the concerts I've held here, only my friend Mark Weiner, has essayed Debussy on that piano, and he played the early Suite Bergamasque. So I wanted sort of mature-ish Debussy, as it were, and you chose these three wonderful preludes because I felt that it would be very, very interesting and lovely to hear Debussy preludes on the sort of piano of that kind of epoch. How was it for you playing these pieces on that piano?
It actually really, really beautiful. Really enjoyed it. Made me think I'd quite like to revisit the whole book, because I did play them a few times a few years ago as a set. I chose Voile because it's my favourite, along with De Pas sur la Neige, which I also absolutely adore. But Voile is a really, really beautiful piece, and I love playing it. I actually played it earlier on this year, forgetting that it was in the programme, and suddenly realised it was on stage, and played it without practising it, and it actually went perfectly well. The West Wind, number 7, that's a piece I played quite a lot over the years. I studied it when I was at school. And I wanted a contrast. Really. And the following one, of course, is the really famous one from the set, The Girl with the Flaxen Hair, La Fille Chauve, which I wanted to throw in basically for that reason, because it's famous. And it's another one I don't have to practice.
Don't tell the audience. Everybody, he really did practice. But the West Wind, I mean, it's such a virtuoso piece, and what impressed me was not just the fabulous technique you displayed, but the colours that emerged in that performance. They were extraordinary. They were so bright and brilliant, and kind of almost negated this sort of impressionism sort of coverall term that's often used for this music. It's very, very bright and clear.
Yeah, it's a very pianistic thing. The preludes are Debussy writing in a very pianistic manner. In other words, they really do fit the instrument. There are one or two things that are extremely difficult in his output, but not that much, actually. He was another composer like Tchaikovsky that was just such a beautiful miniaturist for the piano. Even his sort of longest piece, L'Île Joyeuse, is fairly short. It's only about 5 minutes. But the West Wind is full of special effects. Lots and lots of special effects, which Debussy was genius at, of course. And you have to kind of throw yourself at it. You have to really, really throw yourself into it and not worry about too many wrong notes, things like that, and just absolutely throw it off,
Yeah. And did the colours that the piano was showing in any way change your approach, or did you sort of just react on the spot to what was emerging?
I think I pretty well reacted on the spot. You kind of get used to doing that as a pianist because you're thrown up against so many different types of instruments and different challenges, and I actually happen to play a lot of instruments from different periods as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to adjust things like your timing, and you have to be aware of things like where certain parts of the keyboard are coming out more than others,
Yes.
and you have to adjust your technique, but only very, very slightly. And I always think the best way to do that is kind of on the spot, rather than being too measured about it, because it can overcomplicate your technique a little bit.
I've already had a comment from an audience member, the artist Marcus Campbell, who lives nearby, who actually was full of compliments, but was especially impressed by your Debussy. And he said, and it was in a very good way, that it was as if he knows the pieces very well, but it was as if he was hearing them for the first time. I don't think you can get a better compliment than that.
No, that's marvellous, and it's lovely to hear a compliment like that coming from some guests that live in France, you know.